Football is back. The Premier League has returned and Manchester United are back in action. It is such a big season coming up for Erik with a brand new football structure behind him and some serious signings, as well as a refreshed coaching setup. So, let me tell you what is going to happen with United this season with my 2024-25 season predictions. So the season is here. Excitement is building. United have had a pretty seismic summer. So many changes on and off the pitch. Squad, football structure, assistants, the whole job. And we're building potentially a new stadium and a new training ground. I'm going to run through my predictions in this video. I'm going to run through where I think United will finish in the league. My full 20-1 Premier League table. See how many of them I get right. Not many. Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, and also best player, new signing, most improved, and breakthrough. You're going to let me know yours in the comments. This should be a good video. Drop a like on it. And as I said, we're going to start with the Premier League. Let's go. This is my full table from 20 to number 1. All right. And I've put Leicester, Southampton, and Wolves down as the 3 teams I think that are going to get relegated. Leicester, I don't really think have got a chance. Lost Maresca. I don't really think they've really made that many big signings. I should have had a look, actually. Oh, well. Southampton, Russell Martin, they play a certain way when they came up. I want Kieran McKenna's Ipswich to survive. When Burnley came up after winning 100 points and they got spanked, I hope that Ipswich find a way. I've gone for Forest at 16, Everton at 15, Brentford at 14, and Fulham at 13. Everton lost, though. Now, I mean, they've made some decent signings. I think Forest will survive again. I kind of feel like Forest will end up becoming like a bit of a Stoke City of the Premier League. I think they're going to somehow sneak around it. Either way, they're going to get dragged down. Maybe, maybe not. But that's my bottom half of the table. All right, my bottom 7. Let's go now from 12 up to 6. All right. So I put Bournemouth in at 12th, Palace in at 11th, Newcastle, West Ham, Brighton, Chelsea, and Villa. Talking points here. Brighton, I really like that Brighton team. I like the excitement of that young manager they've got coming in. I think they've signed well. West Ham have probably had one of the best summers out of any club. I think they'll be finishing above Newcastle. Palace, they're a good team. That could be one that goes higher, if I'm being totally honest. Bournemouth, let's see. And Fulham, Aston Villa, I think, will struggle with the Champions League, but still their squad is very good, and they've had a good summer too. And then we move on to the top 5. And this is where I think United are going to finish. Not in 5th. I've put Liverpool there, but I've put United 4th. And we can see here. Now, I'm kind of thinking, am I really going to put Spurs above United? Maybe not. Am I really going to put Liverpool above United? Maybe not. Maybe this one's hard to... I think it's still easy to call the top 2. Arsenal and City. I think it'll be between them for the title. And the rest is kind of a free-for-all. If it clicks with United, we could well finish 3rd. I like that Spurs team. I like the Spurs project, and I think it's actually probably one of the most exciting projects in the league, if I'm being completely honest. Liverpool, I'm expecting them to struggle. It's Arne Slot's first season. It's like following Fergie. It's hard. And Villa, I think they'll struggle with the Champions League. And Chelsea, they've got like 100 players. I don't know who their team is. So that's my title. That's my table. Yeah, I'm going to be completely wrong. No, I'm not going to get them right. But that's my prediction. Let's go over here, and I can show you that is now my prediction. And then we'll move through these, right? The Europa League. Erik ten Hag's won the FA Cup. Erik ten Hag's won the League Cup. I tell you what, he will want to win the Europa League. And I'm putting United down as winners. Sod it. I think that's where our cup focus is going to be. It's going to be on the league. If Man United can finish 4th and win the Europa League, I would consider that a successful season. What do you consider a successful season? Let me know in the comments. But winning the Europa League, of course, gets you Champions League football, as does finishing 4th. The Europa League, no teams in the Champions League drop down this year. Spurs are looking difficult. Porto, maybe Lazio, Roma. United are a very good team inside that Europa League environment this season. I think a lot of focus should be on that. And when it comes to the FA Cup, right, we're current holders. I'm putting United down to get to the semi-final, but not have enough to get through. The FA Cup starts in Jan. The biggest fixture pile-up will come in December, but there's no break anymore because of the fixture pile-up. So January will still be, I think there's equally as mad in January, if I'm completely honest. I'm putting us into the semi-final. I don't think we're going to have enough squad-wise to cope with the cup competitions. And that's why I'm actually going down there and saying United are probably going to go out in the quarter-final of the League Cup, which might be a little bit of a shock, but that's where I want us to play our kids. So it should be a weaker team, and I think other teams may prioritise it ahead of us. But that's what I'm going for in our cup competitions. And I would consider that a successful season. If we finish 4th Of course, it can't get any worse. Well, it could get technically worse than finishing 8th, but that's not going to happen. If it does, Ten Hag will definitely be sacked. But 4th, and playing a consistent style of football throughout and building on it. Even if we lose again, we come back the next week and we try it again and we're slightly better and we're improved. Stick to it. I want to see that style. I think playing out from the back with the ball is going to be a crucial element of it. And if we can win the Europa League, yes, please. That's what I'm putting down as my league and cup predictions. Now let's go on to the players, right? Best player, I think you could speak about, going into the season, the expectations. Probably Bruno Fernandes. I think Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho would be shouts. And depending on what happens with the likes of Casemiro and Rashford and all that. But for me, it's Bruno, man. It was Bruno last year. He is our captain. He's just signed a new deal. I think we're building. We are going to see Bruno staying in the right position far more this season. Last season, he was everywhere. Man marking, running out of position, covering at the back, sometimes dropping as played centre-back at a certain point last season because of all the injury madness. Bruno will be in that number 10 area of the pitch, affecting the games where he can. And he did it so much last season, I think we're going to see even more of it this season. Now, you could technically put one of the new signings in the best player, but I've just made a dedicated category for them. So right now we've got 4. We've got Yoro, Xerxes, De Ligt, and Mazraoui. And out of the 4, the one that I think is going to have the biggest impact at the club, I'm saying Matthijs De Ligt. I'm really, really excited about. I'm ready to get hurt. I'm ready for the disappointment to come. But going into the season, I'm extremely excited about the impact that De Ligt could have on this defense. And as a leader, and as a captain without the armband. That's the way I see him. That's the way he was at Ajax. That's why. I mean, look, De Ligt has played for the biggest club in Holland, Italy, Germany, and now Manchester United. And he's only 25. Injuries, stay fit, man, because if he stays fit, he's going to have an impact. Now, most improved. I think in this one, you could put down probably 4 main candidates. 5, actually, if you want to. You could put down Mason Mount, Andre Onana, Marcus Rashford, and Casemiro. But I'm putting down Ahmad. I think this is going to be where Ahmad really, in the way that Garnacho developed himself from an academy player into a first-team star. Ahmad is going to develop himself from a fringe player to a first-team star this season. I think he's still going to be the most improved. Now, Casemiro will be better. I hope. If he's not, my God. Rashford will be better. Mason Mount will have more of an impact. And I think Andre Onana will be a better goalkeeper too. But overall, I would think Ahmad will have the biggest impact on this season compared to what he had last season. Most improved. And in terms of breakthrough player, I think there's only 2 or 3 candidates. Probably 3. Is Collier, Amas, and Wheatley. And you could speak about Maxi Odegaard if you want to, but I think that Collier is ahead of him. And for me, Collier is that player who I think is going to come through and be the breakthrough player. By breakthrough, I mean somebody who becomes a regular first-team squad member for Manchester United. I'm not expecting Collier to reach the sort of levels of Garnacho or Mainoo, but I think he's going to become a squad player for us. So that's my predictions for the season, all right? Going back to the table, I think United will finish 4th. I'm backing Arsenal to win it. And I think we'll finish ahead of Liverpool. Spurs, I might be being a bit overgenerous with, but we'll find out there. And relegation, I'm going for Leicester, Southampton, and Wolves. And in terms of the rest, I think we'll win the Europa League, FA Cup semi, League Cup quarters, Bruno, De Ligt, Ahmad, and Collier. They're my players to watch in all those specific categories. That's my season predictions. I'm probably going to get about 4% of it right, because that's how it works. You let me know yours in the comments below. But I can't wait to see what happens this season, because it really feels like United are on the right trajectory. And it's not a false hope, I don't think, this one. I'm excited.